The cold silence of space was broken only by the low hum of Earth's warship, drifting in the endless dark. The ship was huge, shaped like a great bird ready to soar into battle. Its metal skin gleamed softly under the light of distant stars. Inside, the crew moved calmly but with steady purpose. Every member knew what lay ahead, a test not just of strength but of will. Far away, in the shadow of a dark nebula, the enemy fleet waited. Their ships were many, fast and armed with deadly weapons. They had faced other races before, and they thought they were strong enough to take Earth's warship. They had heard stories of Earth's power, but they had not seen it for themselves. So, they decided to scan the ship, find its weak points, strike hard and fast. The enemy commander stood on his bridge, eyes fixed on the scanning console. The machine began sending out waves of energy that passed over Earth's warship. Data started pouring in, shapes, sizes, energy readings. But, as the scan continued, something unexpected happened. The enemy commander's face changed, his confident smile faded. His hand trembled slightly as he looked again at the readings. "This can't be right," he whispered. "Their warship, it's unlike anything we imagined." The scanning waves revealed secrets that shocked the enemy. Earth's ship was not just a war machine. It was a fortress filled with weapons more powerful than the enemy had ever seen. The shields were nearly impenetrable. The engines could outpace anything in the enemy's fleet. And worst of all, the crew inside was calm and ready. They were not afraid. Back on Earth's warship, the captain watched the starfield through his viewport. His eyes were sharp, reading every movement in space. His mind was calm, steady as a mountain. He knew the enemy was scanning them. He knew what they would see. He was ready for the coming storm. "Report," he said quietly to his first officer. "The enemy is scanning us now, sir. They are trying to find a weakness, but their sensors show nothing but strength," the officer replied. The captain nodded. "Good. Let them learn the truth." The enemy fleet began to stir. Their ships moved closer. The commanders whispered, in fear. They had hoped to find an easy target. Instead, they had found a force they could barely understand. "This warship, it means our end," one commander said, his voice low and full of dread. But still, the enemy would not retreat. They had too much pride, too much to lose. They believed they could find a way to win. So, the scanning continued, trying to learn every secret, every weapon, every shield, every crew member's skill. Inside Earth's warship, the crew prepared silently. Each person checked their station, ready for orders. The ship's AI hummed softly, running simulations and preparing. "For battle," the captain gave a small smile. "They think they know our weakness," he said to himself, "but they have no idea what awaits them." The enemy scanning rays passed over the ship again and again. They saw weapons hidden deep inside, weapons that could destroy entire fleets. They saw shields that could absorb the strongest blasts. They saw a crew that was trained, brave, and ready to fight. Fear grew among the enemy. Their leaders debated quickly. Some wanted to run, others to fight. But none could deny the facts. Earth's warship was a beast. It was a force of nature that could not be stopped easily. The enemy commander finally made a decision. "We strike before they do. We must attack now or be destroyed." Back on Earth's warship, the captain heard the orders from the enemy. He was not afraid. He knew the battle would be fierce, but he trusted his crew, his ship, and their strength. The ship's weapon systems powered up, lights glowing brightly, in the control room. The crew took their places, calm but ready. The captain gave a final order. "Prepare for battle. Let them learn what Earth means." The stars outside grew brighter as the enemy fleet moved in. The war was about to begin. The enemy fleet moved closer, the dark shapes of their ships growing bigger against the backdrop of distant stars. Inside Earth's warship, the air was filled with quiet tension. The crew did not speak much. Their eyes were focused, their hands steady. Every moment was important, every second counted. The captain stood at the center of the control room, looking at the large screen in front of him. The screen showed the enemy fleet approaching. He could see their movements, their speed, their formation. But what caught his attention most was how cautious they were becoming. The enemy had scanned Earth's warship, and now fear was hidden behind their brave faces. "Sir," the first officer said, "they are trying to find a way to break through our shields, but so far, nothing is working." The captain nodded slowly. "Good. Let them try. They will see what they face soon enough." On the bridge of the enemy flagship, the commanders gathered around a glowing map. Their faces were serious, their voices low. The scan results from Earth's warship had spread quickly, and no one was happy. They had thought Earth's fleet was weak, a chance for easy victory. Now that belief was gone. One commander looked at the others and said, "Our weapons cannot harm their shields. Their defenses are far stronger than anything we expected." Another added, "We must find a new plan. Attacking head-on will cost us everything." But pride made their choices hard. They did not want to back down. They had fought many battles and won. They believed Earth's warship was just one more enemy to defeat. So they kept moving forward, testing, scanning, searching for a weakness. Back on Earth's warship, the crew worked quietly, but quickly. Engineers checked the engines, making sure every part was ready. The weapon officers monitored the energy levels, ready to fire when the time came. The medical team prepared for what might come, but their faces showed hope, not fear. The captain walked through the corridors, greeting the crew members. Each one gave a small nod, a look of confidence. They trusted their leader, and he trusted them. In the communication room, a message came in from Earth's command center. The captain read it carefully. The message said that reinforcements were on their way, but they would arrive only after the battle began. For now, this warship and its crew had to hold strong. The captain looked out a small window at the stars. His mind raced with plans, strategies, and possibilities. He knew this fight would not be easy, but he also knew Earth's strength came from more than just weapons. It came from the people, brave, determined, and united. Suddenly, the ship's sensors picked up a new signal. The enemy was sending a small group of scout ships fast and quiet, trying to get close without being seen. The captain turned to his officers. "They want to test our defenses," he said calmly. "Prepare the interception team. We will stop them before they reach us." The crew moved fast. The ship's smaller attack vessels launched into space, moving like silver arrows toward the scouts. The enemy scouts pushed forward, trying to find gaps in Earth's protection. Inside one scout ship, the pilot felt nervous. The scan data had scared many, but now they had a job to do. Get close, find weaknesses, and report back. The pilot's hands shook slightly as they moved closer to Earth's warship, but the Earth team was ready. Their small attack ships surrounded the scouts quickly, cutting off every escape path. The scouts had no choice but to retreat. Back on the enemy flagship, the commanders watched the scouts pull away. Fear was growing fast. They did not want to lose more ships before the battle began, but they had no clear answer on how to beat Earth's warship. The captain of Earth's warship returned to the control room, calm but focused. "This is only the beginning," he said softly. "They will try harder." He turned to his officers and smiled. "But so will we." The enemy fleet hesitated. Their ships moved slower now, waiting, watching. They wanted to find a way to break Earth's defenses, but every scan, every test only showed them more strength. They began to wonder if this fight was truly possible. Inside Earth's warship, the crew felt the weight of the moment. They knew many lives depended on their success, but they also felt something stronger. Hope. Hope that their courage and skill would make a difference. The stars outside seemed to shine brighter, as if watching the battle about to unfold. The silence of space was filled with quiet determination. The captain gave a final order. "Stay alert. Stay ready. We defend Earth no matter what comes." The crew tightened their grips on their stations, eyes full of fire. The enemy was close, but Earth's warship was stronger, and the fight was just beginning. The space around Earth's warship seemed to hold its breath. The quiet before the storm was deep and thick. Every person inside the ship felt it, an unspoken tension that tightened their chests and sharpened their senses. The enemy was no longer just scanning or sending scouts. Now they were moving carefully, testing the waters, looking for even the smallest crack. The captain stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the main screen that showed the enemy fleet's slow but steady approach. His voice was calm, but filled with quiet strength. "They think they can break through," he said. "Let them try. They will learn the meaning of true courage." Around him, the crew worked smoothly, each in their place. The engineer checked the power levels of the ship's engines, making sure everything was ready to move fast if needed. The weapons officer carefully monitored the defense systems, prepared to respond to any threat. But no one spoke loudly. No one rushed. They all moved like a well-oiled machine. The enemy commanders stared at their own screens in frustration. Their weapons had been tested against Earth's warship, but nothing had broken the shields. Their scanners showed Earth's ship was ready for anything. Yet pride and desperation pushed them forward. "Send another group of scouts," one commander ordered quietly. "This time, use the stealth technology. We must find their weakness." The small scout ships slipped through the darkness, like shadows crossing the stars. They moved carefully, avoiding Earth's sensors. Inside the warship, the crew held their breath as alarms began to sound softly. The stealth ships were close. The captain's voice cut through the calm. "Activate the countermeasures. Let them know we see them." Suddenly, the ship's hidden systems lit up. Silent pulses of energy spread through space, reaching out to touch the invisible scouts. The enemy ships found themselves trapped in a net of light and sound. They could not hide anymore. The scouts tried to turn back, but Earth's warship was too quick. The crew launched small intercept vessels to surround the enemy. The enemy scouts realized the trap too late and fled into the dark. Back on the enemy flagship, the commanders gathered again, their faces tight with worry. "Our scouts cannot find any weakness," one said. "They are caught every time. If this continues, we will lose before the real fight begins." Another commander shook his head. "We cannot give up. We need to find another way." As the enemy fleet slowed, Earth's captain gave orders to prepare for the next phase. The warship's engines roared softly to life, ready to move at a moment's notice. The crew tightened their grips on their controls. They knew this was only the beginning. In the corridors, the crew shared quiet words of hope and determination. Some thought of their families far away, some of their friends waiting on Earth. They all believed in their mission, to protect their home and all that they loved. Suddenly, a message came through the ship's secure channels. It was from Earth's command center. The words were simple but powerful. "Reinforcements are near. Hold your ground." The captain smiled and nodded. "We are not alone." The enemy fleet, sensing the changing tide, began to prepare for a final push. They knew their chance was slipping away. The pride that had kept them moving was now mixed with fear. On Earth's warship, the atmosphere was tense but hopeful. The crew prepared for what was coming next. Every system was checked, every weapon ready, every mind focused. The stars outside seemed to pulse with energy, as if the universe itself was watching this great moment. The quiet tension grew into a powerful stillness. The captain turned to his officers, his eyes steady and strong. "Soon they will come. We will meet them, head on, and we will show them what Earth means." The crew listened, their hearts beating with courage. They were ready. Ready to protect their home, their families, their future. And as the enemy fleet moved closer, Earth's warship shone like a beacon of hope in the dark, cold space. The stars glimmered like distant promises in the vast, dark space. But inside Earth's warship, the tension was as heavy as gravity. Every light on the control panels pulsed softly, marking the passing seconds that felt like hours. The crew moved with quiet precision, knowing the calm was only temporary. The enemy fleet was close now, their intentions clear and their movements deliberate. The captain stood at the center of the bridge, his eyes sharp and unwavering. His voice was low but filled with unshakable confidence. "This moment will define us," he said. "They have seen our strength. Now they will see our resolve." Outside, the enemy ships began to shift formation, a silent signal that something was coming. The crew noticed the change instantly. Sensors picked up energy signatures that hinted at new technology, something Earth's warship had not encountered before. The officers exchanged glances, knowing they faced a challenge unlike any before. The captain gave a calm command. "All stations, prepare for new tactics. Keep focus. We adapt, we survive." The ship's AI worked tirelessly, analyzing the unfamiliar signals and running simulations faster than any human could. The results were unclear, but suggested that the enemy's next move would test Earth's defenses in ways never imagined. The crew's training and the captain's leadership were now their greatest weapons. Meanwhile, in the enemy fleet, the commanders gathered in a dimly lit room. Their faces showed strain and determination. The new technology they planned to use was risky, unproven. Some feared it might backfire, but defeat was not an option. One commander said, "We must push beyond what we know. This is our chance." Another replied, "If this fails, we face total loss. But waiting means certain defeat." Back on Earth's warship, the silence was broken by a sudden alert. The enemy had launched their new device, a shimmering sphere of energy, moving toward the ship with slow but steady purpose. It was unlike anything the crew had ever seen, glowing softly but threatening with its unknown power. The captain's voice was steady. "All hands, brace for impact. Engage all countermeasures." The sphere touched the ship's shield with a gentle hum that quickly grew louder. The shield flickered, strained against the new pressure but held firm. The crew watched, holding their breath as the mysterious energy pressed harder and harder. Inside the warship, engineers scrambled to adjust power flows, reinforcing the shield's strength. The weapons officers scanned for weaknesses in the sphere, searching for a way to neutralize it. Minutes passed like centuries. The sphere pulsed, sending waves of energy across the ship's defenses. The crew felt the vibrations under their feet but stood firm, knowing the captain's words. Then, slowly, the sphere began to lose its glow. The shield absorbed the energy, and the device's power faded. The enemy's hope dimmed with it. The captain allowed himself a small smile. "We adapt, we endure, we protect." The enemy fleet hesitated, their plan disrupted. They regrouped, searching for another way, but their confidence was shaken. Earth's warship was more than a machine. It was a symbol of resilience. Back on the bridge, the captain looked at his crew, pride shining in his eyes. "This is our moment. Together, we stand, unbroken." The stars outside twinkled with silent applause. The battle was far from over, but Earth's warship was ready to face the darkness and shine bright for all who believed in hope and courage. The endless stretch of space held its breath as Earth's warship glided steadily through the dark. Every person aboard felt the weight of what was coming. They were no longer just defending a ship or a planet. They were defending hope itself. The quiet hum of machines filled the corridors, mingling with the low murmur of determined voices. The calm before the next move was thick with anticipation. The captain stood once again on the bridge, eyes scanning the stars. He knew the enemy was watching, waiting for any sign of weakness. But Earth's warship was not just a ship. It was a beacon, a symbol of strength built by every hand that had worked on it, every heart that beat inside it. "Prepare for their next approach," the captain said. "They will try something new, something unexpected." Around him, the crew nodded, their faces steady and calm. The engineers checked the energy cores, making sure every system could handle what was to come. The communication officers sent messages to Earth and the incoming reinforcements, coordinating every move carefully. Suddenly, the sensors picked up a strange reading. A large object, moving fast and silent, was heading toward the ship. It was not like any enemy vessel they had seen before. Its shape was smooth, almost organic, as if it was alive in some strange way. The captain's eyes narrowed. "What is that?" The science officer responded quickly. "We don't recognize this technology, sir. It seems to be adapting to our defenses as it moves." The enemy fleet from their side watched with growing anxiety. Their new weapon was meant to end the fight quickly, but Earth's warship kept standing, its shield absorbing every attack. Now this new object was their last hope. Inside the mysterious ship, the pilot felt the pressure of the moment. They had trained for this, but Earth's warship was unlike any enemy before. It was as if the ship itself was alive, changing and growing stronger with every challenge. As the strange object neared, Earth's warship systems worked faster than ever. The AI studied the object, trying to understand its purpose. The crew held their breath, waiting for what would happen next. Suddenly, the object released a wave of light, not bright but deep and powerful. It touched the shield, sending a pulse through the entire ship. The shield shimmered but did not break. The wave was like a question, a test of strength and will. The captain spoke softly. "We will not yield." The object pulsed again, and the crew felt a strange calm wash over them. The wave seemed to carry more than energy. It carried a message, a challenge, a chance. For a moment, the battle paused. The enemy and Earth's warship faced each other in silence, as if the universe itself held its breath. The crew looked to their captain, who stood firm and calm. Then, with a steady voice, he said, "We answer the challenge, not with weapons, but with courage and unity." The crew's faces lit with hope and determination. They knew this fight was more than just strength. It was about heart, about standing together no matter the odds. Outside, the stars seemed to shine brighter, watching the moment when two forces met not just to battle, but to understand. Earth's warship moved forward, its engines humming with quiet power. The enemy fleet held back, sensing the change. They had come expecting a quick victory, but found themselves facing something greater. The captain looked out at the vastness of space and whispered, "This is our time. We protect Earth. We protect hope." And with that, the warship surged ahead, ready to face whatever came next with strength, courage, and the spirit of those who never give up. The quiet of space was thick with tension as Earth's warship moved steadily through the endless darkness. The crew felt a deep sense of purpose. Every moment was precious, every breath a reminder of what they fought for. The captain stood tall on the bridge, eyes fixed on the glowing stars ahead. This was the final test, the moment where hope and courage would meet the unknown. Outside, the enemy fleet shifted uneasily. They had expected to overwhelm Earth's defenses, to break the spirit of those aboard the warship. But time and again, their plans had been met with unyielding strength and clever tactics. Now, faced with a force they could neither break nor understand, their confidence was beginning to falter. The captain's voice was steady but carried a quiet fire. "This is more than a battle. This is a story of who we are. Our strength is in our unity, in our will to protect all that matters." The crew responded with nods and soft murmurs. They had seen the odds, the challenges. They had faced the unknown and refused to back down. Each person was a part of something greater than themselves, a living shield for Earth's future. Suddenly, the sensors detected a new signal, faint but clear. It was not an attack, but a message, an offer of communication from the enemy fleet. The crew exchanged surprised looks. The enemy, once silent and distant, was now reaching out. The captain stepped forward, speaking into the ship's communicator with calm authority. "This is Earth's warship. We accept your message, let us speak." The enemy commander's voice came through, cautious and filled with uncertainty. "We did not expect your strength, nor your will to stand. Perhaps there is another way. Let us find it." A moment of silence followed, heavy and full of possibility. The crew felt the weight of history in that pause. Here, in the cold vastness of space, two forces reached out, not to destroy but to understand. The captain looked at his crew, pride shining in his eyes. This is the true victory. When courage meets wisdom. Communication opened new paths. The enemy shared their fears and hopes, and Earth's warship shared its own. The walls of suspicion began to fall, replaced by the fragile threads of trust. Together they began to explore possibilities, not as enemies, but as beings seeking peace. The stars around them witnessed a moment of true bravery, not of battle, but of heart. The crew of Earth's warship smiled quietly, knowing their mission had grown beyond defense. They were now ambassadors of hope, shining bright in the darkest night. The captain turned once more to the stars, whispering, "We protect Earth, we protect the future, and we protect peace." The warship moved forward, not as a weapon of war, but as a symbol of strength, courage, and the endless power of unity.